What up, what up, what up, what up? It's me, L Teddy 27.
Good as night, right about the hood.
Oh, dear God, I'm already eating a drink.
Look a damn mess, just a damn mess. No means no, and yes means no.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's good, people? What's up? It's me, I'm back. I'm L Teddy 27, and we are back for another review. This is going to be our review for Put a Ring on It. New show alert, new show alert, new show alert. Put a Ring on It is the name of this show. It is season 1, episode 1, of course, if it's a new show. So let's dive right in. This show is basically about couples who are having issues with each other, and they have been together for a while, but for some reason cannot, cross that bridge to marriage. And so we have a relationship coach. Her name is Dr. Nicole. Let me start off by saying I really like Dr. Nicole. She's fair, she's tough, but then she has the ability to still draw you in when you want to listen to what she has to say, but she really does give some good, wholesome knowledge, advice, and so forth. So I really like her. A lot of times on these shows, I really don't like the therapist or the relationship person, but her, y'all know I'm always looking out the window to see if Hot Dad is coming out. That's not Hot Dad, that's somebody else. Anyway, but I really like her. So let's get to the couples. The first couple is Ashley and Hollywood. Ashley is 39. Hollywood never said how old he was. They've been together 8 or 9 years. He already proposed to her twice, but the problem is every time he proposes to her, then he want to backpedal and pussy pop off of it. He wants to say, oh, maybe we should see other people. Oh, I'm not ready. Oh, well, I don't know. He don't want to get married, sweetheart. He does not want to get married. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, Ashley. It ain't going to happen. If he wanted to get married, it would already happen. Men, no. This is one of those classic cases. He don't want to get married to you, sweetheart. And we'll go more into that a little later. He actually came out right from the beginning, like right from the start. He came out with what the problem was and how he really feels. He says, I proposed because I didn't want to lose her. So to me, she's more like a toy or a possession or something like one of your, possessions or your luxuries that you go and buy and you can just have it. They're not attached to you. You are, their only tethering or attachment to you is from your vantage point because it's an object. It's something that you can just throw away or get rid of when you're tired of it. You don't want it. It's not a mutual tethering or connection together. So, but yeah, he said that. He said that right from the beginning. Oh, I just proposed because I didn't want to lose her. Anyway, it's like she's a toy. He doesn't want anybody else to play with her, I guess. Then we saw Shay and Michael. She's 28. He's 35. And they met like 60 years ago. Now, I feel like when they first got together, with her being like 21, 22, she was real young and dumb. And he probably was real cute and attractive. And she was, because she, and we'll get into it a little later, from just her talking and the things that she says, she's still really young-minded and looking for all of the superficial things. And she wants to base her relationship off of things that she's seen or she sees from other people or what, and not truly what is right for her. And so I feel like in the beginning, he got with her and thought it would have been real cute. And then he started to like her. And yet when she expressed, because she said she expressed that she still had feelings for her ex. And he was like, oh, you think you're the only one that could do that? And he went and got him somebody else too. And so the other girl and they split, and the other girl ended up at trying to force him into an engagement, and it didn't work out. And so now they've gotten back together, but the problem is she sees that it probably should have been her. Like what the other girl had probably should have been her, but she kind of messed up. But now she sees that he's grown. He ain't 20, however old he was at the time, 27-year-old Michael no more. He's 35-year-old Michael. That's like, I ain't trying to make those mistakes again. So I think he's at a different place and she's at a different place, but they're not at the same place together. where was I going with this? Um, okay, so that was Shay and Michael. Shay, to me, is the root of all of her own problems. She is her own worst enemy in this whole relationship situation. We'll get to that a little later. Mimi and Ulysses, they've been together for about 6 years. She's 42. He never said how old he was. They met at a video shoot. Is she a video skank? Shout out my eyelashes. I say that you are. Anyway, he's cheated on her. He seems real hood, like just real, just hood. Not the hood where they stay out in the streets all the time, but the hood where they stay at home, but they still real hood and alley. Anyway, but he is the one dude who I think will make the best husband for the spouse, or the girlfriend. They only got back together because the dad had a stroke. Now, I found it interesting that we learned later on that the dad had a stroke just a few months ago. Anyway, so that's those two. We find out that each partner is going to have to date another person. So this whole experiment is they're going to date other people and see whether or not they want to stay with the person they're with, or whether or not they want to either explore one of the people they date or just explore other people altogether. So let's talk about the date preps. The ladies are going on this episode is going to be the ladies going on their dates. So we start off at Michael and Shay's apartment, and Michael is like, "Okay, girl, you go and have a good time." She putting all her nice clothes, and he's like, "Okay, I ain't pressed about it. You do what you do. I'll be here. I ain't worried. I ain't got nothing to worry about." And I think a lot of people will find that off-putting. I think more of it's like he sees her for who she is, and he knows she's looking for the wrong things in men, and he knows what he offers her as opposed to what some of these people may offer her. And he's like, "Girl, I'm not worried. Go ahead." We then see Ulysses and Mimi, and she gets a call from the doctor of her father, and he's taking a turn for the worse, and his organs have started to fail, and the doctor even recommend I suggest you put him on do not resuscitate, and she's like, "No, I'm not ready to do that." And she's very like, her emotions are all over the place, and her Ulysses talking, and they're like, "Listen, now is not the time for you to be going on no date. Nope, we got too much going on, and we got other fish to fry and things to tackle." Then we see Hollywood and Ashley. Hollywood wants no parts in her going on this date. Although before, let me go back to Mimi and Ulysses. Mimi and Ulysses, because at first she was getting ready for to date, but Ulysses was telling her some real like hard talk stuff, like it ain't always green on the other side. He was really telling her some real stuff that she needed to hear. I feel like she feels like she could do better than him, and that's why she wants to explore other people. I really feel like she feels she's here, and he's here. And that's why it goes to kind of like that hood thing. Like she feels like, yeah, I can, my caliber of person who I am can do better than him. But I'm going to tell you what anchors him to her in a little later. So, but yeah, back to Hollywood and Ashley. He does not want her to go. Like I said, he sees her as a possession, and he does not want to give up his pretty little toy for anybody else to play with. So he's all up in his feelings and everything. And he was like, it's kind of like when you over there playing with your toy, and maybe your cousin come by and your mama say, "Let little Ray Ray play with your toy." And you looking at your mama like, "I know you don't want me to give my toy to little Ray Ray. I don't let nobody play with my toy." And you throw it over to Ray Ray like, "Okay, I'm only giving you this because mama told me to." And at the moment Ray Ray even holds the toy the wrong way or says the wrong thing about or looks at the toy wrong, you ready to snatch that toy away from Ray. You know what I'm talking about, y'all. Anyway, so Ray is the name of her date. He ends up coming to the door. Bad idea on production's part. There is no way on earth you should have had the dates come to the house if you know these people live together. You should have had them meet up at somewhere, away from the house. That way it can truly be something where you don't have to have one side intimidating the other side, which is kind of like what you had with Hollywood here. Ray came in, and it's not like Ray busted in the door. Let's be clear. Ashley told the guy to come in. The guy came in, and Ray immediately tried to intimidate the guy, and the guy wasn't here for his intimidation. So Ray tried to put on. and it just became a bit much. And I thought that that was, I know that, you know, it's probably something they wanted for the cameras, but I just really thought that was a bad idea. I really felt like they, production messed that up. So on these dates, Ashley goes out with Ray. They go bike riding. He's kind of cute. He's cute. You know, got the little curly mohawk fro type thing going on. He had good energy and a good swag about him. I saw some grays on him too, which gave me that he was mature and seasoned. And wasn't afraid to show them, which was good. But they were still cute on him. He didn't look old. He still looked youthful, but looked mature with his youthful look. So I really was digging Ray. Ray was a good pick for a date. She really liked Ray as well. You could tell she was digging Ray. Um, Shay went out with some dude named Andre. Baby Andre looked to be about 5 feet tall with his shoes on. Okay. I mean, he was okay looking. He kind of looked a little funny and weird, but he wasn't really my type, my cup of tea. But I'm sure some people would say, you know, he was real attractive. Um, One thing I noticed when Shay was on the date with Andre, y'all notice how Shay gave up all of the innermost details about her relationship with Michael and telling Andre all of Michael's faults and things he did wrong, which I thought was a bad thing because what ends up happening is now Michael is empowered with all of the information that he needs to make himself look good. And I'm not Michael, Andre is empowered with all of the information he needs to make Michael look bad and make himself look good. And so I don't think that Shay, and that's a real, you know, Shay handled it the wrong way. Look, that's some teenage type junk where you're not supposed to be telling your if you on a date with somebody else, the other person don't want to hear about the other person you date and doesn't need to hear about the other person you date because you can't be blasting all of the innermost details about your relationship all over the street. I'm just saying that's just how I felt about that situation. But anyway, um, after the dates, they showed this interaction between Ashley and Hollywood after the date. And Hollywood went on this whole thing where he was really trying to intimidate Ashley, trying to force her into not liking the Ray guy and trying to really flex his muscle, literally almost, and show her, don't fuck around. I'm not here for it. And so it kind of messed everything up, even if Ashley wanted to see what Ray had to offer. Hollywood was not here for it, and Hollywood kind of let it be known, I'll fuck you up. I don't know if y'all saw that, but that's kind of what I saw. Like the way he's, you know, sat down on that bed and was pouting and all this, that, and the third. It was like real, like you're 8 years old having a temper tantrum. I was like, I wasn't here for it. He was acting like a real little boy. So they had to go meet up with Dr. Nicole again, and so let me get Ulysses and Mimi out of the way first because they didn't have the date. So Mimi told Dr. Nicole that she didn't go on a date, and Dr. Nicole and told her everything about Dad. So Dr. Nicole, you know, gave them some good advice about sticking together. Now this is when we found out that Ulysses and Nicole's dad were best friends, and they showed pictures and stuff of them. And from what I gathered, Ulysses and Nicole's dad were probably two peas in a pod. They were probably just alike, which made them fast friends. And I feel like Nicole's attachment to Ulysses is like her keeping a part of her dad around. Like Ulysses being best friends with her dad and probably almost being just like her dad and how they, you know, move and act. That's her keeping her dad around. And that's what anchor, even though she might feel like I can do better, I feel like she feels like her waning on the relationship is her feeling she could do better. I also feel like that's basically she keeps him around because that keeps her dad around and she's so close to her dad. She wants Ulysses and what he brings her in that regard. So, okay, so let's go to Michael and Shay. Michael told him, I'm not really concerned because I know what I offer. I know, you know, where this is going. Well, at the end of the day, I noticed because Ashley and Hollywood went first, right? And so Shay was upset that Michael did not respond to the date like what she saw Hollywood, the way she saw Hollywood responded. And this is where I told you she's more influenced by how she thinks someone should act or how she's seen other people act and wants that to be her relationship. And that's not necessarily how things go. That's not necessarily what's good for you. And so she was like, yeah, I wish she would have reacted like Hollywood. And I was like, girl, worry about y'all. I didn't like when she said that. But Michael was unbothered and unworried. Very unworried. I think to a certain degree, that's the part that Shay needs. Somebody who's going to gather her sometimes to be like, you don't need all that. Because I do think sometimes she's all about the look. She's all about what the appearance is. But which is why when Dr. Nicole asked her if she wanted another date, her first response was no, because Andre is too short. So you can see she's all about the look, the superficial and stuff like that. And she's really not delving into the real crux of her feelings and stuff like that. If anything, I think Michael should get the hell out of Dodge more than Shay. I know a lot of people might say Shay should leave Michael. I think Michael should leave Shay because she's not stable in his. She's still way too young minded. But Shay decided she wasn't going to go on a second date with the Andre guy because she said he was too short. Even though she said he said all the right things and did all the right things that she liked him. Child girl. Then we had Ashley in Hollywood. So Hollywood, did his whole thing. He snatched his arm away from her when she started talking about him. Anybody else think Ashley looks like a lighter skinned Tina Campbell from Mary Mary? I'm just saying she looked like Tina Campbell from Mary Mary. Anyway, but I still felt like Hollywood was trying to intimidate her. And I think that, he's a muscular guy. He's a big guy. And I think that he's been able to do that so often to get his way. And I think it frustrates him that he hasn't been able to necessarily do that. Well, apparently he has with her. I don't know. I just didn't like his whole intimidated thing. I think she said no. She ends up saying no to a second date with Ray. I think it's because she was intimidated. She was just afraid of what that could mean. She was afraid of the possibility that she might start liking Ray and how that could make how that could make Hollywood feel. And if you're going to do that, Ashley, you're not going into this whole experiment the way it was designed. Because there's a very real possibility, who's to say that Ray might be the one, not that you'll necessarily be with him, but might show you that there is someone else out there for you. But who knows? That was the whole show. I really like the show. It's kind of cute. It kind of grew on me. I kind of like what it offered. And we'll be back next week for the next episode. It airs on Friday night, so I'll try to get the reviews out as quick as I can. Y'all know how I am. But that was the whole show. It's real cute. I'm interested to see how the next week we're supposed to see the men go on their first dates. So I'm interested to see how those go. But that was the whole show. Y'all let me know what y'all think. It's on the OWN network, so you can go watch it on the OWN network. Let me know your thoughts. Let's get in the comment section and do what we do about what we saw. Until next time, that's all I got for y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out.